Okay, so first things first, I am aware that there is a tumbler running again, but I couldn't wait any longer to build this. So here we have one of my favourite sets of last year, the Super Robot. And so let's put him up to there. So here, we got a couple of thousand parts. Cue time lapse. So I don't know how, but despite going through and making sure I had all the parts, I still somehow seem to be missing one. No, I'm just going to carry on and place one last bricklink order to finally fix this. This is after already placing a fix order as well. Okay, this part wasn't missing, it's ended up under some of the other bags. Let's quickly go back to the hips, review. Nice one goes the other way. Okay, I'm assuming then that these got mixed up. There's known something that's coming up in this build. Yeah, pretty sure I've accidentally given the wrong kind of bracket. So, back over there. Okay, final assembly then. Okay, so this guy is big enough, I'm not going to be able to get him fully in shot, so we're just going to have to deal with that. First things first, as per usual, a few bricklink cells included carbs, so here they are. SPH bricks, knee bricks, Briggs bricks, I've used these guys quite a few times, very reliable. Ali's bricks, and whoever this is, I guess. Doesn't specify a name, but Whoever you are, good job, I guess. Anyway, so, yes. As you can see, well, first things first, size comparison with the original set, who is, well, just that little bit shorter. And while the camera's down here, I tried to capture as many details from the original build as I could. The kind of grill up here, I had the extra little splash of yellow here. The blue toes, the bars on the feet became these details. The black and yellow sloping on the back became these. Yeah, grey back to the legs. I guess I probably could swap these to yellow to get some of the yellow detailing here, but for the cleaner look that the old red has, with the exception of the yellow at the kneecaps. Yeah, so upper legs, all grey. Coming up a bit to the hips, and you can see, yeah, very definitely inspired by that. We'll get to articulation in a moment, but these can move pretty freely. The grey bars on here are represented by those, and if we come around to the back, again, I shuffled things about a bit just to bring out the blue at the shoulders a little more, with the wings connect. Swapped around the upper arms and the shoulders just for it seemed like more sort of consistent colour placement, and it was easier to get the parts colours in black than in red. The arms, again, everything was kind of reshuffled a bit, so we now have the band of blue and mostly black rather than the kind of more even mix of the two. The chest, I expanded the kind of crest detailing quite a bit, as you can see, and fine-tuned the shaping on it. But if you come around to the side, a lot of the same detailing is still there. It still has the slopes and everything, it's just, more shaped. Around to the wings, I moved the yellow stripe onto the top, and then this part is because I needed something to do here to attach that, which also represents the stud. Then the head is basically the same thing, but bigger, more human proportioned, bigger fins. I might still move it further out from the body actually at some point, but yeah, that is a comparison taken care of. Now on to, let's do articulation. So, wings are on ball joints. They can go up, down, back, and tilt pretty freely to get out of the way for posing. Shoulder panels are, they just held on, but whoop. That's the one downside to this guy. Part of a couple of relatively weak connections in the head. Just the side effect of construction. Nothing much to be done about it, really. You just kind of have to accept that, it's really careful posing the head. These are actually just held on by one stud, but at the same time, one stud is all they really need. They can get out of the way. You saw earlier when I was doing the arms, they can get out of the way pretty freely for a variety of poses. Just kind of move the arm and then bring this back in to wherever you need it to be. You can get the arm straight up without, almost straight up without really interfering with anything. And if you move the wing back, move the shoulder back, you can get the fully vertical. Unlikely they would need that, but options there, I guess. So yeah, head is just on a ball joint. There's a waist swivel. The elbows on this guy is designed by Missionary Productions that I might swap out eventually. It's good, but there might be better out there. Basically there's pin connection at the top and bottom, and then stud friction for rotation at 2 points to get you a full 90-degree bend. The wrist, you've got a ball joint that's used for the hand swap. Then all the hands have one joint at the base of each finger and two at the base of the thumb. Exact thumb situation varies depending on hand. Let's just T-pose them for a second. The hips are on ball joints. Come out full 90 degrees. Not entirely recommend it. And the skirting can quite easily accommodate that. You'd need some kind of display stand or something for that, as the legs themselves are relatively heavy, so he's best at standing poses. Forward and backward motion then. You've got about that far forward, which the skirting can more or less accommodate. And a little bit more at the back. It's based on, thigh bulk. Knees, then you have like the old clicky boy. Sorry, that was out of shot. The old clicky boys, they can get to just shy of 90 degrees. And one click forward, in case you ever need that. Ankles are... Let's do this side. So ankles are on ball joints with a relatively limited range, but I designed them such that they can pull out a bit. And it's basically just using the axle connection. It uses the full, sort of two brick depth there, so I can pull out a bit and get a much more severe tilt. Let's just do that for the sake of it, just to show that I don't know what this pose is, but he sure can do it. So, accessories then, the one thing that the original set didn't really have. Let's start off with the hand swaps. So, let's pull these two off. I keep this little ridge here to the inside when I'm displaying him. And bring in the hand tree, which feels... it feels weird and excessive to have this for, figure of this, this size, when it's Lego and you can just, build them with articulation. But I'd say it accomplishes... They're all to accomplish something different. You have the regular relaxed ones, so there's these with the peg through that you can use for holding stuff, currently with one set of thumbs on them. And then there's these ones, that are much more closed and make for a better fist. I guess in theory you could kind of splay them out like that, but it doesn't quite look right. So, let's get to weapon accessories then, for which we're going to need the two fist hands. At some point I need to get to a couple more of these thumbs. You may see during the build the original thumb style doesn't quite fit the sword hand. So, drop those down, move the hand sprue out of the way, and get the weapon sprue. And all these are fairly simple, just front and back peg off, and then attach into the top and bottom of the hand. So let's give him a sword, because he's a giant robot, and all giant robots should have some kind of sword. And a more sort of tomahawk style weapon, just because, he's old school giant robot. And this just feels sufficiently old school to tool him up with. Let's go ahead and stick this in his hand. And yeah, that's one downside. For whatever reason, the arms, well, the weapons and forearms combined are a little too heavy for the arms sometimes. I mean, the sword he can do. The tomahawk, not always. Yeah, the sword he can... never mind. Yeah, like I said, I need to figure out a more stable arm configuration for this guy. But at the same time, he looks pretty good holding the sword just sort of down like this, in a way that I will show once I... There we go. I can hold the sword in a very enjoyably casual way. Tomahawk less so, but with that in mind, let's just swap out that hand for one of the fists. Just kind of bring that arm back, bring it more around this way, sword around, leg around, angle these up a bit just for maximum dynamicosity. Shoulder pads down. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, there's not really a lot to say about this guy. The build isn't actually that complicated. There's the forearms, head, and the crest end up having some complex trickery going in for them just to get the right shaping and colours. But yeah, the rest, nothing too complex going on really. Just a whole lot of parts, occasionally in hard to find colours, which is why it took me 2 months to amass everything for this guy. So, actually, I reckon I should be able to just bring this up. Just for the, just to, yeah. So, yeah, this has been Lucas Builds. I will see you next time for something smaller and less impressive than this guy, because, they can't all be this good. See ya.